Hello, my name is Ayomikun and I'm a medical doctor in the NHS in the UK. If this is your first time on this channel, you're welcome to my channel. This is step-by-step lab explain, and this channel was created to help medical graduate, international medical graduate in the registration as a medical doctor in the NHS in the UK. So this is a second part of my video on audits and quality improvement projects. If you've missed the last video, I spoke regarding, I made an explanation regarding QIPs and how to go about QIPs in my last video. So this is the second part of the video talking about audits and the differences between audits and QIP. So let's assume, so what do we mean by audit? Audit means there's a standard. I want to check if people are following the standard. In simple terms, there is a standard, there is a gold standard, and the question is, are people following this standard? Are medical practitioners following this standard? You basically want to audit the job that medical practitioners are doing. So there are many standards that create, there are many organizations that create gold standards and guidelines that will follow. So there is WHO World Health Organization could have standards or guidelines. In the UK, there is the NICE guidelines, BTS, that's British Thoracic Society guidelines. I mean, there are standard organizations that their guidelines are well followed and recognized and well tested. So you could pick a guideline. So for you to start an audit, pick a guideline and check, do medical practitioners follow this guideline? For example, you could pick a guideline that says that all patients with congestive cardiac failure must have an iron level checked or hematinics checked. That is a guideline. Then if you want to audit the work of the doctors that are seeing patients with CCF, what you do is check if iron levels are being checked for patients with heart failure. So you could just, over a 3-month period, patients that are admitted to your ward with heart failure, check if hematinics were routinely checked for them. And you might be surprised that you will find out that, oh, just about 50% or 70% of patients with heart failure admitted to this ward had hematinics checked. So you've made a finding. And this is a very important finding. So you need to pass this across to whoever is leading the audit, the consultant. They will pass it over to the trust. Then you have to put plans in place that, okay, how do we ensure that all the patients that have heart failure and are admitted to this hospital have their hematinics checked routinely? So that will be the question, because you can't just make a finding. You must find a way to improve the finding. So that is where your audit comes in. So you must make recommendations. So you could make it that, oh, it will be part of the, you could make it part of the cardiac failure panel. You could create a separate panels for blood on your on whatever the IT system you are using in your hospital, so that when you click on the cardiac failure panel or the heart failure panel, it includes hematinics as part of the blood. Then you could make posters in the hospitals. You could send emails to junior doctors, so everyone will be aware that this happened, there was an audit and this was the result and we need to make changes. You could make presentations in in board rounds, in mortality reviews, mobility reviews, just to let everyone be aware that you should always do this. Or another thing that you could do is, okay, you could check that patients with community-acquired pneumonia, the first line of medication for people with COP based on their COP score, look if the first line should be what, amoxicillin. If the COP score is like 0 or 1 and they are stable, so you could go and look, okay, in patients with COP score of 0 or 1, what were the antibiotics prescribed for them? Then you check, 80% had amoxicillin, 5% had amoxiclav, 5% had ceftriaxone. Those are just hypothetical scenarios that I'm painting. So for every audit, there must be a guideline. Then you are checking against the guideline? Are people following the guideline? Are people following the gold standard? That is your question. Then you make recommendations. Then to complete the cycle, after making the recommendations, a couple of months or weeks later after, you do a re-audit to find out if there has been improvement after your recommendation. Then if there has been improvement, then you close the audit. So it's different from QIP in the sense that in QIP, there may not necessarily be a guideline. For example, if you are trying to improve the waiting hours of patients in a particular clinic, there may not be any guideline to say that that will state that a patient must spend a particular number of hours in the clinic. There is no guideline that says that. But so that can only be a QIP, it cannot be an audit. But for an audit, there must be a guideline, either your trust guideline, your hospital's guideline, the Royal College of Physicians guideline. There must be a guideline that you're following. So that is the difference between audit and QIP. Then QIP tends to go on longer than audit. Because usually for audit, you do an audit, you make a recommendation and do a re-audit. But for QIP, you keep following up on your interventions and keep making further interventions until you get to your achieved result. So that is about QIP and audit. Please kindly subscribe to this channel. We've got many amazing videos. Try and look at our other videos. You are going to get a lot from them, and we are going to make more videos to tackle the challenges of international medical graduates in the UK and to help you to register as a medical graduate in the NHS in the UK. Thank you. Bye.